Welcome in, everybody. How you doing? We're happy to be back. Sorry we missed last week. Your boy had the plague. I get sick like every month now. It's a thing. Stuart, as you can tell, we're joined by a very special guest in the form of Stuart. Plague mentioned. Shout out the plague. It was good times. But I am sorry we missed a game. It was just not feasible. By that point, I was mostly okay. It was all the coughing kind of fucked my voice up a little bit. So we just rested one more. In terms of announcements, I don't think there's anything really new, dare I say twice a month, probably at this point. Announcements wise, I don't think there's anything new. It's business as usual. And then I just wanted to pass on a thank you to you beautiful souls who hype trained me. Ryan with the raid, first of all, coming in, starting things off strong. Chris and Tark with the subbies. I appreciate you guys so much. Everyone who came in on the raid, Great Wolf, Soph, Kayla, me babes, welcome in. I hope you're doing good. Tark as well. I hope you're having a lovely day. And Icy, of course. Rusty, 4 p.m. I retire. At this point, it's too stressful. All that PM talk was pre-trade war talk. I'm out.
Too much.
Canada can handle it itself. We'll be fine. I'm sure we'll be good. Anyway, without getting too much into that, thank you again, guys, for just, showing up, being a part of the community, and hanging out with us every Monday. It means the world. We're super excited to be, fucking back and doing shit. Real quick, before we get into the recap, let's pass it on to our good friend JTB so he can say hellos to the peoples.
Hellos, peoples. I'm here. I'm doing JTB things.
Stuck the landing.
Living life. Also getting the plague multiple times a month.
Woo! Plague life. That's good times. Thank you for the follow, Hudo. I appreciate it. And Ryan.
Welcome in, Hudo.
What do you got going on, buddy? What's new at the Purple House on the Hill?
Oh, nothing too wild. We're almost at episode 400. 400 streams is coming up here soon, so that's wild. I love to take a night off, do a bunch of just a stream, an entire night of clips. So that'll be coming up here real soon. I played Fields of Mystria today for the first time. That was a hoot and a half, but I'm getting right into just ramping back up. I also took a little bit of a breaky, so I'm ramping back up myself too.
Sometimes you need a little break, honestly. It's good to step away every now and again. Chris,
I was in the dark place.
We were in the dark. We were all in the dark place there with you, buddy.
Yep.
Happy to shine some light on the situation for you.
We're too bright to keep it down in the darkness.
Yeah, fuck them. Chris, what about you? What do you got going on, buddy?
I got a Stuart in my lap. It's a good day.
Good. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna need random inspirational quotes.
Feeling really well.
That's good. Yeah, no, we got the fucking tooth yanked out. We're glad you're doing good and back. I think though that's about everything.
Tight mouth OC.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just
on the topics of breaks.
Mm-hmm.
You could just be like me and take a 2-year break.
Indefinite 2-year hiatus from streaming altogether. I can't do that. I would miss the D&D too much. The people would riot. Mainly us, because we wouldn't have D&D anymore. Yeah, we'd be rioting.
Burn down your apartment.
We would be so angry. Could you imagine how horny that comeback D&D stream?
Oh my god, that would be the horniest game you ever played. You wouldn't even believe it, dude. That being said, I believe that's everything we had to get through for today. So picking up where we left off last time. The party, after making a kind of loose alliance with Elon Turst, the supposed nephew of your former comrade Sol Morderas, you made a bit of a deal in that you would perhaps consider sabotaging the job that the Trudge Hill Trading Company sent you on for the sake of your new allegiances with the Bilge, the local thieves guild. Many things to consider from that. However, in the interest of just providing a little goodwill to his new allegiances, Elon offered you all a boat to make your trip a little bit faster. You, along with your compatriots, after, of course, signing your trade deal with the TTC, forming a company all of your own, Sol's United Cogs and Claws, or SUC for short. You all made your way to the docks, where you found a somewhat decrepit but sturdy-looking boat waiting for you. You all piled in and made your way across Rook's Bay into some somewhat tumultuous seas that were masterfully navigated by, I believe, Dusty and Vitekorl, I think. Am I right? Who helped with the steering of the boat?
No, I fucked us up with the navigation tools.
I used my
that was all them.
I rolled a nat 20 to use my Yokowa to steer.
Right.
One at a time. JT, what were you saying?
Just random thought on the topic of suck. If our artificer makes the world's first vacuum cleaner, we're really in business.
You really are. You really, really are. Boats and Bros. That's today's episode title officially.
Technology.
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there eventually. So
We have the technology.
with some disastrous navigating but skillful sailing from Vitekorl and Xechas, I apologize, the party successfully made their way through the choppy waves and heavy winds of Rook's Bay, eventually seeing the eastern shore on the other side. And that is where we ended our session with you fools rowing off into the sunset. Welcome in, Ridiana. Ridiana, I appreciate you. Suck what? My will to fucking live and DM for these degenerates anymore. That's what's getting sucked. So,
And you love it.
as we return to our, regularly scheduled programming now in session, the party still making their way across the waters as you row and row into the winds, kind of making your way over the waves one at a time, slowly. As you kind of approach the eastern coast, the eastern coastline of Rook's Bay, you see the inlet you're looking for, a large, somewhat slow-moving river that seems to just be draining right out into the bay here. You know your destination is some ways up there. You can kind of see the different channels that weave through the different tidal areas here, kind of creating these like serpentine, almost creeks, tributarying off of the main river itself, but kind of opens into this wide-mouthed, somewhat shallow-moving river. Who's doing a suck, everybody? What is the plan? As you feel the current kind of beginning to change, you feel the waves now behind you, pushing you quicker towards shore. You notice you're starting to pick up speed and run the risk of crashing on the rocky shore if you miss your target. How are you guys assisting, or how are you as a group, more accurately, attempting to navigate this? Who's steering the boat is the main question.
I think
I
it was
still have my
Yokowa going. And was
Yeah.
I rowing? I was
At
a
this
big
point,
boy,
that
so I
was
would
more
probably use the
useful
most.
for a deep ocean kind of deal. This is more of a shallow river.
Okay.
You gather using your spear as a rudder. While useful, that time will not work again.
Okay, so
we're-
probably Vitekorl then.
Okay.
Big boy.
All right.
Brother.
I'm gonna say just. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, if you're just doing the roll, I'll explain what I'm doing later.
Okay. Go ahead, Vitekorl. Just straight up athletics check. Are you proficient
Gotcha.
in? Are you proficient in sea vehicles? Actually,
No, I'm.
Okay.
I know.
so no athletics. We're not adding any proficiencies or nothing. Just a straight up strength check then.
Gotcha. Hoop up and boop. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh Jesus. Mm.
Ooh.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
All
I'm
right.
from the woods.
All right. As you begin kind of rowing your way towards shore, angling the front of your boat towards this river that's draining out here, you feel the current kind of pushing you as the river flows out, but the waves also breaking and pushing behind you. So you're at also like one time having to row very strong while at the same time trying to maintain enough speed that the waves don't break right into your boat, and you start to feel yourself struggling with it and slowing, and you see a rather large wave coming up behind you and rising up as if it's probably going to break soon. Dusty and Xechas, how are you guys helping? This is a group challenge.
So I was going to kind of keep my eye out since the water's moving a bit quicker now, it's getting a little rough. I was going to keep my eye out for rocks, things like that of the nature, and then try to like lean to help move the boat out of the way in case of an emergency.
I like that. That's going to be 2 checks. Roll me a perception and then an acrobatics to try and balance and shift your weight on the boat to kind of help guide it around the rocks.
Perception.
What's up, Stormy? Welcome in as well, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Perception.
Not the worst.
Pretty good. You do see a couple like large rocks that are kind of deposited here that look like they came from upriver. You can't quite see them under the surface of the water, but you can see just where the water rises up enough to indicate that there's something there kind of altering the flow. And then roll me an acrobatics check to try and aid Ryan in the steering of the boat.
Not awful.
Okay. So far we're 1 failure, 1 success for the group, so it's going to come down to what Xechas is doing. But as you feel the boat kind of reach this point where it's struggling against the current of the river, and you see behind you this large wave coming, you're still shifting your weight, trying to move the boat around the rocks as best as you can, and you kind of realize that you're teetering on the brink of potential disaster here. Xechas, what are you doing?
I mean, I've been looking through and I just don't really, I mean, if anything, I'll like get low in the boat to try and help lower the center of gravity so it's less tedious, I guess. But that's not really something to help everyone.
That is likely not going to help with the large wave currently about to break along the back of your boat. I don't know.
How close are we to the shore?
It's about a 50, 60 foot river in total, just kind of slowly meandering out to sea.
Okay.
Probably 30 feet on either side if you're going up the middle.
Okay, but we're close enough to shore where I feel like if I jumped in the water, I could swim just fine.
Probably.
Okay, neat. Also don't need to breathe. I'm gonna quickly just, I'm gonna drop my shield.
It's more not getting swept out to sea in the current would be the struggle, but...
Oh, yeah, true. I just like don't know what the fuck to do.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Jumping off and casting Thunder Wave, there's nothing I can think of.
Huh?
That's what I was gonna do.
That is entirely your call. You see Vitekorl struggling against the current, keeping the boat moving just enough that you're not being pushed back into the waves about to break behind you.
Okay, I'm gonna grab one of the oars from him and paddle one side of the boat so that if we each have an oar, we'll be stronger.
Okay.
Smart idea.
In that case, better. I will say Xechas now. Roll me an athletics check.
Okay.
With advantage.
Boatsmen,
because Vitekorl
stronger together.
Backs on backs.
It doesn't matter, I rolled an nat 20.
Let's go.
Did you really?
Yeah, he did. So that's good. You guys kind of sit down next to each other. You hand him off one of the oars, and together you both put your backs into it, putting your feet on the bench in front of you so you can really kind of torque on the paddle as best you can, and you begin increasing in speed against the current this time. And as the wave breaks behind you, instead of breaking into your boat, it breaks about 5 feet behind and pushes you further up the current, and you guys kind of break that point of just hovering in the middle and actually manage to begin moving upstream. It is a hard row. It is not moving fast, but it is moving against you. You're going against the current, so it is a struggle. But eventually you find you are able to make your way up the river, and it is fairly slow moving. It kind of widens out at some points, going to maybe 100 feet total across. Other times it thins down to 40 feet or so, but it is a fairly large river altogether. And
is it pretty deep?
By this point, yes. You know, you've kind of come out of the tidal area where all the sand gets moved around by the currents. You notice there is quite a depth to the water here. Oh, thank you for the advantage, Soph. I appreciate that.
I just want to point out that's 2 nat 20s in a row that I've rolled from the last session of this. That's crazy.
And at that point,
it was the last ones.
You feel yourselves kind of settle into a rhythm, and you're slowly but surely meandering your way upstream. I don't know how familiar you guys are with maps, but you guys did check all that stuff before you left, so you know it's probably a good 2-day journey upriver at this speed. And you likely will not be able to make it all the way to the lake. But you can at least get far enough that you make a pretty decent dent in it. So, Vitekorl, are you rowing all day, or are you passing it off to some of your squad? Because it is hard, even with the two of you going, it starts to kind of begin a struggle. Your shoulder blades start to burn. You feel your back muscles getting tight as you're just constantly pushing against this current.
I like to think that Vitekorl would probably start to get very tired, start to think about that, start to be like, God damn it, I mean, I'm not the only one here with 2 arms and a heartbeat, I mean, and he's gonna look down at the giant Xechas's rusty knife and be like, I need the practice. Okay.
Both of you roll me a Constitution saving throw. As like the wear and tear on your body begins to reach a point that you're actually having to fight through the burning in your shoulders. Yes! Covered raisins, yummy. Damn! All right, with the nat 20s, y'all. Shit. Okay. You settle into a rhythm together between the two of you, even though the burning in your muscles reaches a point it's almost intolerable. You grit your teeth, breathe in heavily, and just
we've got this.
Continue together,
yeah,
making your way up the river. And as the sun begins to slowly dip into the horizon towards the end of your day, you've traveled probably about up to, I would say, there-ish on where I pinged on the map. So you find yourselves kind of in this large field where this river is just meandering gradually through at all times. You see forests popping up on either side of you, and a rather large hill in the kind of eastern distance that you can see silhouetted against the horizon. Sometimes we can, oh, thank you, Soph, I appreciate you.
Grandpa, no!
You.
At some point, Dusty opened the bag and was like, all right, Violet, you gotta give him a hand, and had her go to the back of the boat and just kind of like sort of like beginning little like force
using
breath.
the force breath. Roll a Constitution save for Violet.
We just get little like, oh.
She also needs the practice.
You guys are ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous.
I'm looking for her con.
Oh no.
Save it.
I just hear the dragon crawling out.
Labor.
She does not last very long. We're going back in the bag, bro.
Oh no!
You kind of give her a nudge, get her to help. She goes to the back of the boat. She's like, and just poofs out these little force bursts that kind of cause the boat to just awkwardly lurch forward like half an inch faster every single time, to the point it starts to throw off the rhythm of Xechas and Vitekorl, who've kind of locked into a teamwork kind of rowing rhythm here.
We're not even talking.
After a few seconds, yeah, just like the breath is the cue you need at that point. And after I'd say probably a minute, you see Violet kind of curl up into a ball and just like lay down in one of the corners of the boat. The somewhat usual dark, rich purple that kind of covers her scales is a bit more pale, and you gather that she's probably not all that keen on being on the water at the moment. It's not something she's used to. She can likely swim, but being on a boat is a different thing altogether, and she kind of tuckers herself out and curls up under one of the benches.
All right, if you don't want the water around, you can get back in the bag.
She looks up from under her bench and just cuddles her head back down and just finds this like little nook where she's all cozy and comfy. You gather she is enjoying the fresh air, if nothing else.
I love her.
Suit yourself.
Okay.
Y'all good over there? Y'all seem to be just chilling. I'm really just sitting here at this point.
All good.
We're doing all right. We'll let you know if you need to take over.
Okay.
All right,
guys-
rocking the boat it is.
Y'all travel on for quite some time. The sun finally goes down. Darkness fills the sky. And navigating the boat is becoming a little more tumultuous at this point. You notice the river is kind of thinned out a little bit more. It's running a little faster. And while it is still you able to navigate it if you wanted to, you gather it's a bit more of a risk doing so at night. It's up to you guys. Do you want to continue on with your journey or camp for the evening? What's the plan?
I think we should find a place to stop for the night.
Yeah, honestly, if you hadn't said anything, I would have just kept going. Let's stop. I can't feel
Y'all
my
been rowing
shoulders.
all day, yeah. Y'all need a break.
Yeah.
We should find a stopping.
Okay, all right, yes, let's do that.
All right.
Anybody particularly good at this? I should be, but I'm not.
I know of a ranger who is.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm relatively good at spotting decent areas yet.
Okay.
Love it.
Roll me a survival check. Not at advantage, because for the first time in this campaign, you're not in the middle of the forest.
Damn.
Boats and rows. Oh no.
Listen, y'all gotta stop taking all my 20s.
Oh
Y'all
Okay.
gotta
Stole it
stop
all.
this shit.
You kind of go to stand up in the boat and look around as best you can for somewhere that you think is likely dry enough to camp out for the night along the river. And you see this kind of point here where the little tributary kind of splits off from the river and reconnects further down on this nice little island that looks relatively flat, nice and rocky, kind of decent enough to set up a sleeping area on towards the middle. And as far as you can tell, pretty good place to camp.
Well, I think that flat area over there should be fair enough.
I trust you entirely.
This larger looks good.
Okay, you guys just row right over and then kind of drive the boat up onto the pebbly rocky shore, kind of pulling it out of the water as you guys hop out. Easy enough to pull the boat ashore. No checks needed, and you find yourselves on this kind of thin bit of dry land in between the rather large river on your right and the somewhat smaller tributary that kind of dips off from it on the side. What's up?
DM, do I know anything about tidal shift?
I don't know, Xechas. Do you know anything about tidal shift?
The
Roll
fuck
me-
is that?
DM, do I know anything?
There's
about
not like
tidal
a...
shift?
we need like an education check. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would
History is
say...
kind of the
I would
general
say
one used
history
that.
for that. Let's just roll a history check. What's up, Boom Boom? Welcome in.
Hey, Moo Moo.
I would also say at
I'm
disadvantage
gonna
because
use-
you are not from a coastal town.
Okay. Either way, I'm going to use the thing
Mhm.
that I have. Did it just roll?
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
So
So,
15
15.
altogether. You're not from the coast. You've never really lived at the coast. You've very infrequently, if ever, traveled it. But you did spend a lot of time reading in your youth, being the kind of, shut in that you were. And you do recall occasionally reading about the different shifts in tide, and in particular, Rook's Bay has very large tidal changes that you very specifically recall reading about. That being said, you gather you're far enough upriver that it is likely not going to be a major problem. Like your full day's travel up the river at this point, I would say, or at least a half day.
Okay.
So you gather you're probably good. The main worry would be the melt and runoff from the mountains, but it is currently the dead of winter, so you'd gather that's not really an issue you need to worry about right now.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like the island looks safe and dry by all of your assessments. It appears to be okay.
Cool. I'm just gonna do me, I guess, yeah. Well, this seems solid enough. It's nice and open, so it'll be very hard to sneak up on us.
Oh
True,
yeah.
true.
Do it, Rusty.
It's a little.
Do it.
It's a bit chilly, so I'm gonna probably start us a fire.
Do it.
Sure.
Okay. Gonna have to find some firewood there.
We're about here, right?
Yep, you're on that island right there. You can see the forest on either side of you. It's mostly just going to be a pain in the ass to haul back, if anything. But
Think?
hit that D100.
Vitekorl,
Dusty.
can you, I know you've been rowing all day, but can you possibly take the rope we use to pull the boat in and drag it with us to the forest? You're the stronger one. I just need something to carry the wood.
You know, I was
I'll have
just
my
about
sled.
to say, it would be nice to take a break from these rusty old bones. And as soon as I say that, I just kind of go boom, boom, down on the ground and start to crack, 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 crack. And I'm just going to turn into a giant, a very, what's the word? Veiny. It's a very veiny horse. A very large, from at the distance, it's like a brown horse with a black mane, but it's actually a dark pink with more of a purple.
Oh,
and
okay.
As I'm transforming, the last things you hear me say before my face becomes a horse face is, "Say hello to Spylight Twarkle." And this is Spylight Twarkle, the warhorse.
Spylight Twarkle.
And I'm gonna just kind of look at you, look at the rope, look at you, look at the rope, and be like, "Nay."
Dusty looks up to you and goes, all right. And he's going to say something in Draconic as he passes his hand over his ear. And he's going to cast Speak with Animals so he can just communicate with you normally.
Easily done. Easily done.
Amazing.
Cast that real quick.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tie this to you now.
Thank you. Very much, thank you. And I can take a break from my other set of bones and I can drag this one into the dirt. Mm-hmm. Let's go! Goof, goof.
Okay. So Dusty and Vitekorl going out on some wood gathering bonding experience. Xechas, how would you like to spend your time?
I'm just gonna stay here and set up my tent.
Okay. I'm gonna pitch the camp.
Hold out my bag of holding. Yep.
Or quick survival check just to see how good you get or how quickly you get the camp all set up and ready. And as you guys kind of begin making your way
perfectly average
towards the nearby forest, the weather is nice. The sky is clear. You can see all of the different stars in the sky around you, and you find yourself just kind of walking across this somewhat snowy, icy field, hearing the snow and ice crunch underneath your boots and your hooves, respectively, until eventually you make your way to the edge of the forest. Trees here are very much the same, very similar makeup for this forest, though at this point you do know specifically you, Dusty, would know that the river by Fort Mistmere is the cutoff from the Festerwood Forest to the Forest of Avinar, in which you now currently find yourselves.
Would I know whether or not this would be better like wood?
It's about the same quality. It's mostly evergreen trees with a little bit of deciduous mixed in, but nothing too different or varied from what you're used to. Xechas, what's up?
I'm gonna do my best to set up the camp within like a 20-foot square.
Okay.
Area.
Easily done.
Easily
done. With 10. It's gonna take you a while with the kind of cool night air. It's a little darker with no fire to see.
I rolled a 10 on the survival check.
Yeah, so it takes you a little while. But for the most part, you gather you'll probably have the camp mostly set up and ready for when they get back with some firewood. Dusty and Vitekorl. I guess this is mostly a Dusty thing. Gonna have to cut down some trees. I say probably just a straight up athletics check for that. Or you can, get an axe and make some melee attacks against a tree. Either
Speaking
one.
of,
I would accept either.
Can I try to find some relatively thinner trees to back hoof?
Yeah,
horse kick some trees.
Easily done. I will absolutely allow that.
Yes. Whoop.
Okay. Go ahead and just make me a couple horse kicks.
Horse
The
kick
trees.
one.
They do have a specific AC for most trees. That hits. And is enough to
kick
break
two.
a small tree. That also hits. Is not quite enough
Horse kick
to break a small tree.
3. Fuck.
Okay, that'll do it. Dusty, as you're kind of figuring out how you're gonna go about gathering the different wood for today, you watch as oh fuck, what was it? What was your fucking stupid
Spylight
ass name
Twarkle.
again? Spylight Twarkle.
Spylight Twarkle.
You watch as Spylight Twarkle makes their way over to a pair of trees, turns and just kicks the hooves into the back, kind of breaking it just about a foot above the ground, and there's 2 trees that kind of just fell and crumble over, all ready to work with. Fuck that tree in particular. Jeez. That's the first time in your life you've seen a fucking horse harvest wood from a tree. God damn.
Just someone's here. I don't know if you guys could tell, but somebody arrived.
Somebody
My
has
house.
arrived.
So I think what Dusty would do is probably something he's used to doing, because he's not a particularly strong boy. So he doesn't really chop like trees down. More so, I think he would climb up with his claws and then start like clawing branches off.
Okay.
Like with
Make me some melee
And
attacks
dropping them down.
with your claws. Also an acrobatics check to climb that tree. Or athletics, your preferred. You know, whatever you prefer.
even with my climb speed.
Okay, fair, you do have a climb speed. I will say this check is more to just, you know, maintain your balance while you're in the top
While
of a
cutting,
tree, cutting fucking branches out of it. It's a very low DC. Less to climb, more to just hold yourself sturdy. Yeah, easily enough. You kind of shimmy your way up until the branches start to get a little thinner and weaker, and kind of dig one set of claws into the tree, and with your other one just hack off. Oh my god. Stop rolling ones! Stop rolling ones, you can't roll over a fucking one ass motherfucker. Goddamn. Alright.
What the fuck is happening?
You reach out to try to claw a fucking
what the fuck is going on?
Try to claw a branch off of it, and as you do, you feel your claws dig into it, and one of them immediately breaks.
Ah, shit!
Quite low. Quite low. Like, and you now find yourself as a cat with 3 claws. 4 claws, I guess.
He like
okay up there.
Instinctively, his hand goes to his side where the flintlock pistol is, and he's just like,
just shoot the wood off the tree. It'll be fine.
I broke my nail.
I just see like a branch, and then drop of blood, and I'm just like, nay? You okay up there? Nay.
Fuck my claws up.
Oh!
Just one of them. Just one.
Just, you got, like, not a giant axe that I could use?
Really, it's just the sword that I carry around now. No, yeah. And these, and I just kind of like start kicking back to, nay! Nay! These things are fucking weapons! Hey! Hey!
Oh my god, I love it.
You know what? He's gonna start climbing down, and then he's gonna go to the boat where the bag still is. Violet, now's your time to shine, little one.
Are you all
You
right?
see
Go ahead, yeah.
Violet kind of just curls up, or uncurls herself from under the bench where you left her when you went to harvest wood, and kind of scampers over to you, looks up.
All right, girl. You know the thing that we do when you
Big
blast
stretch.
shit while I shoot it. I need you to do the same thing, but I'm gonna swing my hand at a tree, and then I need you to blast from my hand.
Seems anxious.
And
Or ready.
he's gonna try to like claw against the tree, but have Violet infuse the strike with force damage.
Okay, go ahead.
See if you can
roll a
knock
melee
anything.
attack against that tree, buddy. You got
Explode
this.
that tree.
Your other
Can't
claw
see
just
it.
explodes off.
Okay,
14 to hit a tree.
14 hits the tree. Good job, buddy. Well done.
Yeah. It'll be 7
Okay, this time as you reach out and slash into kind of somewhat
and
thinner,
2 force.
somewhat thinner tree. Okay, well done. Altogether, you slice through a small enough tree that you can actually cut it down. That being said, it is not as substantial as you were hoping for. There's enough wood between the 3 trees that have been felled already to probably do you the evening, but you gather if you are going to make felling trees a thing on the regular, you may want to invest in an axe.
Oh, well, that worked well enough.
Perhaps I could forge you a tree cutting axe when we're back at home.
You remember the time when I couldn't even hold my gun up? What do you think I'm gonna be able to do with an axe?
Bestian.
That's
make
true.
Quite light. There are certain materials that are very light compared to the size. You can look into it.
You know what I haven't tried? And I found out because Ashlyn, when I was teaching her to shoot, we did split wood with a bullet. I could just shoot the branches.
That is true. You could do that.
Yes, that is a good point.
We
I
could
just
make
don't
you
know
a
if we
gun
want
just
gunshots
for
to
it.
go off.
That's
That's
another
allowed.
thing too. It's kind of
Also,
announcing
have
we're
this,
here, right?
and I pull out my Yikawal with a foot-long blade on the end. It could be good for kindling and smaller branches and stuff like that.
And I
You
can
know-
just kick down the logs.
You know, he's gonna rip a piece of his shirt and start wrapping the one broken claw. I'm gonna let y'all handle that, and I'm gonna
Sure.
go. Let's drag this back. Well, you might still need it if y'all are staying out here. I'm gonna go take some pieces and get it started.
You
We'll
gather
get
you
the
have
big
enough.
wood to keep it going.
Yeah, you gather you have enough between the 3 trees or small trees you managed to fell here at the edge of the forest that you could probably, have enough to get a decent fire going tonight. So you kind of rope it all up together behind Vitekorl and make your way back to the camp. It's not a far walk.
He walks up to Xechas with his broken claw in one hand. All right, hear me out. That thing you do when you fix our doors and shit. What do you reckon?
Unfortunately, it only works on inorganic material. Believe me, I've tried.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
you'd be all about the mixing of those two. Yeah, you definitely tried that before. You don't even have to show us.
It
Let me
was a rather painful experiment. But
let me- Come here, darling. Let me try this out for trying, maybe. I'm not the best at it, but we're going to try, and I'm just gonna hold your hand, just kind of put it right there, and just as soon as it gets right about there, I'm just gonna start throat singing, really badly. It's
Oh,
just
I love that.
and after a good couple of seconds, I'm gonna cast Healing Word. Oh,
Your
Let's
healing
go.
word is just throat singing. I love it. My healing word is throat.
I cast Throat at first level.
I want you to know that your throat singing was genuinely decent,
For the follow.
and that you could definitely do the screaming vocals like I could if you practiced.
Someday. Oh,
That
there
is
would be
the
so many
basis of
people.
false chord screams.
Ah! There would be so many people that I would surprise with that,
Genuinely, I was
myself
like,
included.
holy shit.
There you
That
go.
was really good.
That means so much coming from you. Thank you.
Penny
Oh, my
horse to
goodness.
throat goat. You know it. You know it.
We'll turn Ryan into a throat goat yet.
Your throat is getting a little hoarse.
Okay, so you all return to camp, go about your business. Get a let's say, I'm gonna say, give me a survival check, Dusty, to get that fire going.
Yeah.
The wood is wet. It has been snowing and fucking raining for the last, half a month. What are we rolling today? What are we rolling?
Can we go 4 for 4?
All right, one more nat one, baby. Let's go.
Oh, so fucking close. So fucking
How
close.
are you rolling so
Fucking
bad?
close.
What the fuck? Okay, so you all, as you kind of making your way back to the camp, Dusty's already there with some of the smaller pieces of wood he gathered, trying to start a fire, and you just watch this this poor man as he grabs his flint and steel and just starts trying to start this like little spark wherever he can, and you watch as he and you see a little spark catch on some of the oh shit, the kindling that he set underneath, and some of the dried grass he's used, or whatever fire starter you keep on your person. You're an experienced woodman, you got something. You see a little spark, and then a little flame kicks up, and just then there's like a single snowflake drifts down and just quells that one little spark that Dusty managed to get for himself, and you find yourself unable to start a fire. What's up, Candace and Gummy? How you doing?
You guys watch.
Perhaps I can help.
You guys watch as Dusty strikes. It happens, then the snow falls, and you just see his face go. And he just goes, I'm going to fucking bed.
You just make your way into one of the tents that are set up and just lay down immediately. The wood that was going to be used for the fire just stacked, waiting to be burnt, but unsuccessfully having done so.
I believe I can get it started. Don't worry.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I would do it soon. If he falls asleep like that, he's gonna have bad dreams. I'm sure of it.
Have fun, Gummy.
Yes, no, I plan on doing it right now. And I'm gonna go up to the fire, and I'm gonna take out a book just a blank notebook that I have in my bag holding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rip out 10 pages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna crumple them up. I'm gonna put them in there. I've started forges before. I know how to start fires.
True.
And then I'm gonna literally stick my fucking hand in there. And I'm gonna firebolt into the bottom of it.
There you go. Easily done. No check needed. Just
That will do.
Dusty, as you go into the tent, you hear sound of just like a little as the fire just ignites behind you, and you make your way back into the tent. As Xechas and Vitekorl, you have yourselves a nice fire to enjoy.
Slight singeing of the brows, but all is good.
Thank you, Candace. I appreciate
That was really good. It's so nice and warm out here. Dusty, we got the fire going. Oh. Okay, you stay and we'll make sure to keep it going nice and warm for the rest of the... I think his confidence really took a hit on that one.
It's been a long day. I don't blame him.
When at first you don't succeed, use its weight in dynamite. Vitekorl, you have inspirations from Valerian.
Hey. Bless you, baby. All right, well...
I can take watch for all but 4 hours.
Sure, yes. About... What would it make more sense for me to do it first or second?
Perhaps if you do the watch first, then I'll be fully revitalized for my watch.
And then I can just sleep the rest of it. Love it!
Okay.
Sounds like a great plan. Before I go to bed, I'm going to cast alarm in a 20-foot cube around the camp.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say you managed to get, both of the tents. I think you guys have 2 tents, right?
Right.
I'm not sure what the number of tents is. I believe it was 2.
I specifically have 1.
Okay. I'm just assuming you guys spent money on camping gear starting out, so yeah, between a lot of you have enough to camp out. So the 2 tents side by side with the fire pit kind of nearby is enough to fit inside that space. And you...
I'm gonna make sure all our valuables and stuff is in that space as well, out of the canoe.
Okay. You settle in for an evening's rest. Dusty, you already in your tent, kind of bundled up, getting to sleep. You feel a familiar feeling of a small crystalline dragon kind of snuggling up into your ribs under your armpit a little where it's nice and warm. Kind of sticks a little bit, but you readjust accordingly. And after a while, you hear this kind of faint purring sound coming from down by your side. And Violet, your small drake, has, got all nice and cozy. As for you, Vitekorl, roll me a perception check as you take the watch for the evening.
All right, with disadvantage, thanks, Soph.
Yep, true.
Whoop, come on. Really high. Okay, that's good. And one more. Hey!
All right.
19 and 20, so 19.
Well done. Okay.
What's it like rolling over a 5?
It feels nice. It feels good. It feels strange, honestly. Weird. It feels weird.
The first thing you notice during the night, you're kind of just sitting there by the fire crackling just next to you, keeping you warm throughout the night. You kind of poke and prod it, keep it going, add wood as needed. You just listen throughout the night. And it is very quiet, the snow kind of dampening the sound of everything, the clear sky, no wind. It is just a quiet night, which is why it makes it, or how it makes it so easy for you to hear the sound of marching coming from the forest to your south. Moving from around towards, I'd say probably around this spot where I'm pinging on the map right now. Headed just gradually towards the east. Sounds
like our direction?
More like you guys are up here, going to down here, and whatever it is kind of around here in the woods, just marching.
Or west, okay.
Yeah. They're to your west now, but they're moving eastward.
They're moving towards us.
Kind of more perpendicular, I'd say, or parallel, I guess. They're not intersecting with you guys. You gather they're not for you. As far as you can tell, they don't sound like they're headed towards you. They sound like they're just meandering to your south a little bit. After a while, the sound kind of fades as they get deeper and deeper into the forest, but you very clearly heard the sound of maybe 20, 30 men marching through the forest.
Oh, it's taking everything not to go check that out, but look over at the tents. I'm not leaving them alone.
You see Xechas just kind of like in his usual semi-conscious, weird,
yeah.
elven undead state, like eyes just open, staring into nothing. Just completely locked. Yeah.
What was that?
Ryan resisting the urge to check out the sound of 20 to 30 men.
Listen.
That's good.
Listen.
Tarquin's joke of the day. That is getting pinned.
I hear footsteps.
I get it. Is it like
Men.
dudes?
It's raining men over there. Whoop.
What are you doing?
Oh, jeez. Has it been about 4 hours? Is it getting close to that mark here?
You're about probably the 2.5, 3 hour mark when you hear the marching happening. You gather whatever it was likely waited until the sun was down before it started its journey, and is very likely coming from somewhere around Fort Mistmere.
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead. No, fuck it. I'm just going to keep listening, keep my ears peeled, and make sure I'm gonna tell Xechas as soon as he wakes up about it. Or once I kind of know I'm going to bed. And for the whole time, I'm just tense the rest of it. I was kind of looking relaxed. I was like twirling my sword and stuff. I was
playing with the fire.
poking it. Yeah.
Okay.
And now this whole rest of the time, I'm just...
Xechas, you awaken, or whatever the equivalent for you is, about 4 hours after getting your meditation in. And you see Vitekorl by the fire looking pretty on edge. Eyes kind of scanning the dark horizon to the south towards the forest.
Sword in my hand, just like pointing down, unsheathed.
What's going on? Did
Who goes there? Oh, hi.
It's me. You're on edge. Is everything all right?
There was marching. It sounded like maybe animals at first, but then I trained in on it. It was people for sure. There were people marching, and not really towards us, but there are infantries walking around, and that makes me nervous. I don't deal well with what's the word? Authority. I tend to spit in the face of authority, just by accident. I speak with a lot of tongue.
I'm not a fan of authority as well.
Kind of why we all three of us got along so well.
Could be, yeah.
Okay. Well, and
Right,
I'll
cool.
tell him like where it went, like the direction and stuff.
Kind of points to area around there.
All right, well, try to get some rest.
All right. You be careful.
well.
Wake me up. Do not be afraid to wake me. I know I'm a bitch in the morning, but I promise I won't be. I can't promise that. I promise I'll get up. I just go and lay down on the ground. I'm not in a tent. I'm used to this. Just wake me up when you feel like I've rested enough.
Okay.
All right.
Xechas.
Yeah.
What does the rest of your evening look like?
Well, I guess since my tent isn't in use anymore, I'm just going to disassemble it, put it back in my bag of holding.
Okay. Easily done.
Just going to jump on that. And then I'm just going to kind of, keep a weary eye out. I'm going to keep the fire just on an ember.
Okay.
Not fully going, because I don't want it to be super bright.
Fair. Go ahead and roll me a perception check for your watch.
Oh, good.
You're gonna roll? There we go. Okay. You sit tight for a while and let the fire burn down to embers. Keeping a ever watchful eye on the area of the forest that Vitekorl pointed you towards. And you're kind of sitting and just watching. It's dark, so you can't see all that far, even with your dark vision. But
I don't have dark vision.
Oh, perfect. Are you an elf?
I'm a reborn.
Oh. I feel like if you were a reborn of an elf, you should still have your dark vision. Either way, it's not important.
Is that? We'll figure it out.
We'll figure that out off stream. That's fine. Yeah. An hour goes by, maybe 2. You keep a kind of just weathered eye on that. To your right, kind of, if you guys are here, that's your left. Kind of coming from around these trees here.
Okay.
You catch just a glimpse of someone in the field illuminated by the moonlight, kind of moving along the edge of the forest, keeping in the cover as best they can, and you just catch a momentary glimpse where they weren't able to completely hide themselves. And you see them kind of stop, lean on a tree, and look towards where you guys are camped. And then after about 5-10 minutes, if you don't do anything, the figure just walks back into the forest and disappears from sight.
I mean, there's not a lot to do. I'm just going to keep a very sharp eye on them while they're doing that.
Mm-hmm. You gather they are very likely aware of your presence, but take no action. They don't come any closer than the edge of the forest, and they just make their way back, eventually vanishing from sight. The rest of your night, however, passes without incident. The weather the following morning is just as pleasant and clear as it was the night before. The sun kind of begins to come up, filling the sky with a brilliant orange as you wake up or awaken the rest of the camp to ready yourselves for the day of journey up river. Do you pass on what you saw?
Yeah, I'll kind of let them wake up first, though. I don't want to break this news as they're groggy.
Okay.
Good morning. We were stocked.
Yeah, so basically just as we're eating breakfast. So Vitekorl, in addition to what you heard, there were a few people that seemed to be hiding out in the tree line. They clearly saw us, but I also very clearly saw them, so there's nothing else to be made of it, though.
What did they look like? They had people. 1 second. Slap. What did they look like?
It was too dark and they were just a bit too far away for me to make out any good details.
All right. Well, that's very weird. I heard what seemed like an army, like marching, like very in time, 1, 2, 3, 4, step. I don't know what I've been told kind of stuff, But
yes, I don't think this was related then. This was just a small group of people.
Oh,
it was one.
To be sneaky.
You saw one.
Oh, it was just the one.
One single individual.
Oh, it was just the one individual, so...
Oh,
I mean, somebody's either following us or has sent a scout and they know we're coming.
Did neither of you wake me up for watch?
Oh, no.
Y'all don't trust me that bad?
Not at all. We thought you were having a rough day with the claw, with the hand. It was a lot.
Oh.
We really only needed the 2. Tinker Toy over here just needs to recharge the battery for like a couple of hours, and then he's fine for the rest of the night.
Yes, it does take me significantly shorter to rest, to rejuvenate
Yeah.
myself.
There's going to be a night where y'all are going to need to do the same for me. It's going to happen. Don't worry. I will say, Xechas, it's sounding like you're going to be the one doing watch more often than not. I'm sorry to burst that bubble here now, but yeah. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
anyway.
To sleep. It's very fair.
Violet kind of still in your bedroll just stretches awake, the amethyst crystals along her spine kind of just clinking together as she stretches her back up like tick, 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 all the way
Hear
down.
this
She looks
shit?
up.
We've been reduced to nothing but the guy who shoots things okay sometimes.
Violet looks at you and kind of like, knowingly turns her head like...
Listen, both
like
of you. That is not at all what's happening here. It's just we were giving you an extra rest day. Trust me, you're gonna need to do the same for me. Have you seen my emotional state lately? I'm a mess. It's gonna need to happen probably tonight. So don't worry about it at all. I promise you, you're very important. And at the end of the day, you're able to shoot things in a way that I can't, and I can barely hit things more often than not. I can barely lift this son of fucking... I drop the sword. I put my hands on your shoulders. I get real close. Just, you're important.
Hands on the shoulders, wanting to hold my hand. You can just ask for these things, right?
I'm afraid to get intimate. Aha!
You guys all begin packing up your camp and table what to do about the potential observer of your camp and prepare to make your way for the day.
So y'all heard marching, right? You don't reckon they send a force from Fort Mistmere anyways, do you?
Sure hope not.
I don't know.
Because if we arrive there and it's already occupied, then what the fuck did we come out here for?
We definitely can't take out an army head on. I mean, we have a lot of oomph behind us, but not that much. Maybe
I suppose.
Could possibly do an incognito, secret, stabby kind of thing.
Well,
Dark
also,
of night.
If you consider, we could, if they are occupied, we could just go to Port Arlington and just get them and maybe counterattack.
Well,
We can't be seen though.
The only thing, the thing that we need to consider is that Thieves Guild, who I'd rather curry their favor than the governor of Fort Mistmere, they want opposite things. So, if it really comes down to it, we should contact the governor of Port Arrington and get them involved in this, and tell them.
I agree.
We're on their side.
I would like to at least stop by there and see exactly what might have happened first.
Right.
Before leaving it to have people slaughtered.
Yes.
Right.
So I think at the very least we need to go see if the worst we fear is true at the lumber camp. And then if
Very
we
well.
can just talk to the fellow, then perhaps we can let him know that we are more or less on his side.
More or less.
And tell him what's going on, so that he can be prepared as well. If we're going to do this and just flip what the orders that we've been given, we need to have allies on our side.
Right.
I am curious. Because obviously they're all doing this for the company. The company gets the fucking bottom line in the end. However,
Yes.
I wonder how the TTC feels about using resources to harm other members of their own division. I've never really seen conflict between them. I know it happened, but I've never really seen it myself.
It's got to at some point.
I mean, I live in the woods.
To me, to be honest. Coercion, lies, espionage.
Yeah, but you'd reckon
It's
just
a small
outright
part of the
attacking
problem.
each other is a little bit wasteful of their resources, would it not be?
Yes, which is why I'm hoping that that's not the case for what that marching that we heard was. Very strange, though.
Mm.
So we should make haste, I think.
I agree. Well, into the bag, Violet. Sorry.
Grumbles at you and kind of stretches herself out one last time, coils her way up your leg onto your shoulder and into the backpack. That you
Don't worry, we'll get to do our one job soon. There's a Vitekorl.
You hear a knowing from inside the satchel on your back. You feel her curl into her nice comfy ball down there. You guys find yourselves ready for another day's journey. What's the plan? Are we going by boat? Are we trying to go by land?
What do we think would be faster?
At this
The boat's
point,
pretty slow going.
it's kind of more or less the same either way. You do know that at a certain point you will have to get off the boat and dock because the river coming out of the lake is too fast to row up at that particular point. But you also know you can get a good decent day's travel done on the river as well. It's up to you. Going overland, you run the risk of potentially encountering, the patrol from the previous evening or the group on march currently. It's up to you guys.
Perhaps we'll get a little closer on the boat and then step off to scope out what we're getting ourselves into.
I like that idea.
Cool.
I was thinking the same.
Okay, sounds
At least
good.
until we feel like the boat's moving slower than we can walk.
I agree.
All right.
All right.
Back into the shoulder breaking work. It's fine. My traps need it. Let's
Cool.
go.
All right.
Are you
for
sure
now-
you don't want me to touch your shoulders?
Man took that purse.
I get all like red, I guess gray, more of like a purplish color. And
I mean, that's if you trust me to massage your shoulder. It is.
I would trust you to massage any. Let's get in the boat.
Love it. Okay. So this is at the
You guys have
moment.
probably been around me long enough to know he's being sarcastic
Oh yeah.
when he's saying all this.
Oh yeah. Vitekorl, just you rowing the boat at this point. So go ahead and roll me a strength check, please.
Up. And this one with advantage because of a beautiful. Who was it that gave
Yeah,
me that?
fair. It was an inspirational
No,
quote
it was a
from
variant.
Varian.
That's what it was. Is that it? That's
D10.
advantage. Yes. D10.
Yeah. Like a
Even
bardic
better.
inspiration, but a D10.
Well, okay. So 13 plus. Oi. Hup. Come on. Okay. Plus 2, so 15.
Okay. It's pretty easy moving. The river's wide, slow, just kind of meanders against you. So it's you still feel that familiar burning in your shoulders as you start to get going, but you find yourself moving at a pretty reasonable current and manage to maintain that for about half the day until the river kind of thins out and all that water begins to run faster and deeper, and it gets to be a bit more of a struggle, and you start to see the forest kind of beginning to push in around you as well. And as you kind of round a bend, you see a small like jetty, just a small kind of haphazardly pieced together dock with a boat of a different nature attached to it. There's a canoe, this kind of long, made mostly from birch bark by the look of it, kind of just tied up there. That's not what gets your attention. However, what gets your attention is a loud scream of what sounds to be a woman coming from inside a small log cottage built next to this place. And as you guys kind of round the bend after hearing that scream, you're able to catch the glimpse of what appears to be just like I said, a large log cabin here with the door closed, and there appears to be 3 individuals leaning on the door, scraping their hands down it. You hear the sound of raggedy breathing coming from behind, and behind that group you see 2 individuals wearing what looks to be sailor's clothing, but it has seaweed hanging off of it, different bits of barnacle growing in different places. They're holding rusty cutlass at their sides, and seem to be directing a small swarm of zombies towards this home. You see them pushing on the door, which opens ever so slightly before someone on the other side seems to put their weight against it and hold it closed. And before we get into that, we are going to take our break for today so you guys can figure out how you want to go about this next encounter. This was what was waiting for you at the end of the river. If you had got off, you would have avoided it, and we would have had to go with a random table. But instead, you stayed on the water. Yay! Yeah, that's what you see. So your boat will be...
Oh god, it's Sailor Stanislav.
Your boat would be pulling in there somewhere up there. So if you guys just want to drag your minis onto the map, I'm going to find a map.
So this is where he floated to.
So we're gonna be back in 10 minutes, everybody. We're gonna take our break now, and yeah, we'll be back in just a little, and then we'll have the first combat in a few sessions. I'm kind of excited. This has been a while. You guys haven't really got to test out your shit. Like
we RP too much.
We'll see you guys in 10. Don't go nowhere. We won't be long. Catch you soon. Let's go. What up, everybody? We're back. Welcome in. I hope y'all had a good break. I know I did. I didn't even run an ad. I forgot. Fuck it. Who cares? So, when last we left off, you guys had rowed up the Gulthi River, eventually making your way here to a small log cabin along the river's edge with a small dock on which a boat was tied. However, what really drew your attention was the small swarm of seemingly drowned zombies making their way, or trying to force their way, into a home in which there appears to be some individuals desperately attempting to keep the door closed, while these individuals outside are completely enraptured by whatever it is they're doing. Your boat comes around the bend and you see this scene unfolding before you. They do not at this time notice your presence. They seem completely preoccupied with getting into that building. What would you guys like to do?
We need to do something, right? I whispered to the group.
We do.
Well, they don't seem overly friendly. I could... Well, he grabs the musket.
You grab the musket, and as you guys all look around, you do see the river up ahead, and You see what you've kind of been waiting for, the spot where the water itself or the river thins out, the water runs faster, almost hitting rapids level encounters along the way, definitely more than you can handle in your current boat. And you gather this is likely the last stopping spot before having to make your way onto dry land and head towards Laravos Lake from there.
We should probably pull this thing over.
Regardless, we'll have to, I think, yes. All right.
We'll pull the boat over out behind that tree.
Okay. We'll just boop. Boop. You guys managed to pull your way over. I will say, Ryan, roll me a stealth check.
Gotcha.
As you try to bring this boat just over to the rocky shore quietly enough. It's not a high DC. They're very preoccupied.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. As you guys try to stealthily make your way towards the river's edge, the boat, making its way onto shore, kind of bangs against a rather large rock, and this loud thud kind of echoes out through the forest enough. I'm gonna roll. We're gonna see if either of the two dudes notice. One does. One definitely does not, however. So as these individuals, these zombies covered in barnacles and seaweed, are trying to force their way into this home, your boat thunks against the rock, and you watch as this individual kind of slowly turns towards you.
Click my heels to turn my armor on.
Fair. And you watch as it makes eye contact with you, where normally you've seen rotting skin on zombies and things before. This is not entirely uncommon. As you guys know, there was a rash of undead issues springing up sometime in the previous years during a different D&D campaign we played. But this is something you're familiar with, and the thing that strikes you as odd, the skin appears to be more waterlogged and damp. This is perpetual wetness always hanging off of them. Their hair is stuck to their head in a way that looks like they've just come out from under the water, and you just see this large barnacle kind of growing off this creature's cheek as he looks towards you and turns and points the sword. At that point, we're going to have everyone roll initiative because they are now aware of your guys' presence.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Part of the crew, part of the sheep. Yoink.
Oh!
Oh! I did it!
Yeah, let's go, buddy! Yoink. Alright.
I did it!
Oh, I put
I
one.
did it!
There's just 3 of them. That guy should be there. My bad. Roll. At all the zombies. Who am I missing? Just this fucker. Yeah.
Just that bitch.
One of the zombies got nat 20 on its initiative roll. I just want to point that out. Let's go. Feels good.
-2 is feels bad.
Feels bad. Oh no. Okay, so Vitekorl, you see this scene unfold before you, and this zombie just turn its face towards you, make eye contact, and as it opens its mouth to alert the others to its presence, a just flow of seawater kind of leaves its mouth as if it was just held in there inside this creature, and it kind of just words something you don't quite understand. It doesn't appear to be language. It just kind of grunts and growls.
They're Murlocs,
You
run!
hear Murlocs from World of Warcraft. Yeah, that's what you notice. It is your turn, however, as the creature kind of raises this rusty cutlass towards you. What would you like to do?
Is it primordial that they're speaking?
They don't really speak. They just make noises to draw the attention of their comrades.
It's not language.
It is not a language. It is just... It sounds wet and bubbly and gross. Vitekorl, what are you doing?
Boat.
Fish noises.
Oh.
Vitekorl?
Vitekorl and me.
Vitekorl. He had 22 initiative. You have 18.
I had a 5.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, what?
Huh?
Look at the stream initiative order. Vitekorl has a 22. I don't know what to tell you guys.
That's so weird. Yeah, I rolled a 5.
Very good.
And that zombie has 18 and is ahead of you, but I'm gonna let you go before it. Okay, You get a 5, Vitekorl. Congratulations.
I was so confused.
That's what I'm seeing too.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
There's 2 Vitekorls.
That's so weird.
Why is there 2 of you now? I'm so
Holy
confused.
Shit.
This is
He duplicated.
Okay, so roll 20 did a fart, is what happened.
That
Roll
was
20.
weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Roll 20 did a 2. Okay, I'm gonna check that. We got Dusty, Zombie, Xechas, fucking drowned 1, other zombie. The zombie. Okay, and then I'm gonna roll this dude, I guess?
I think you're missing drown 2. Yeah.
We are missing a drowned. There we go. We're good.
The way that I was just like, White Carl, huh?
I was like, Vitekorl. Earth to Vitekorl. Alright, Dusty, your turn. My bad. My
Yeah, I
bad.
was planning out my turn. I was ready.
That was a roll 20 issue, dude.
Like,
That one ain't on me.
That was weird.
No, we're all free from blame on that one. What would you like to do with your turn, Dusty?
I'm gonna step off the boat.
Good job, guys.
Off
Okay.
the boat.
Easily done.
I got a lot of range on this new musket.
Mm-hmm. You sure do.
15, 5. And then you're gonna see him load in the bullet,
Mhm.
but as he does, you guys remember he had bullets that had like this green, like almost viney stuff going into it.
Mhm.
Instead of the normal bullet that would have that, he now says growth in Draconic, and then you watch as the bullet, as he pushes it down, begins to form the green viney things on it as he
Cool.
slams that down. And I'm going to use Hail of Thorn.
Ooh. Go ahead and make your attack.
And I'm going to aim for this lad,
Oh, it's a dead.
the main zombies.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Let me shoot with the musket.
12 to hit. They have an AC of 8, so you definitely hit that one. Go ahead and roll your
Thank
damage. And then
fucking God.
they all deck save or just the ones near it?
Anyone within 5 feet,
Including him or
Minus
no?
1. Let's go.
Yes. including.
Just count
And
it
then
up.
he takes 16 piercing damage.
Can we just
plus
point?
9.
Hold up. Can we just fucking deal with the fact I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3 in a row?
That's
Welcome to the club.
Boom, boom, boom.
Welcome to the
don't know if I've
club.
ever
I'm
seen
glad
the
we
fuck?
got a
What's up,
load.
How's it going? Welcome in. That has never happened. Shit.
Well-
Okay.
It happened earlier, so I don't know about.
Fair enough. So your damage on 16 total, or is that just for the gun?
That's just for the gunshot on the first guy.
Plus the 9 damage. So he is completely eviscerated as that goes off. The shot hits him. There's an explosion of vines and thorns out of the wound, and that zombie is just completely eviscerated. The other 2 just take the 9 damage because they failed horribly and are still standing as this like eruption of thorns just fills their back. They kind of turn over to look what happened and then immediately kind of just go back to pounding in this door trying to get into this building. You gather they've here with a goal.
Oh, why you gotta do me like that, Kayla? Why?
I love
I've
you,
had
babe.
the worst
Powerful.
day.
You're the best. You're the best.
I've had the
Best
Hey.
girlfriend ever. Dusty, is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
30.
30?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, just
you
move
move your 30. Easily
Rest
done.
of my movement.
Zeos, that zombie is dead. You're up. What up? What do you got?
Okay, I'm going to also get out of the boat. Range on catapult 60 feet. Let's go. I'm
Woo!
going to get out metal bludger ball, and I'm going to send it yeeting at the dude who has not seen us yet, which is this one, the left one.
They have all seen you at this point. Your attention has been drawn to
okay.
you. You guys biffed your surprise round when Ryan crashed the boat.
Oh, neat.
Oh.
Where away is this tree? Far too far. Okay. I'm gonna go behind. No, I'm good. I'm good just hanging out under the tree for now. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna launch catapult at this mofo.
Go for it. Okay, so deck save from him.
Yes.
He's 2.
He fails.
Oof. Oof.
These poor
Did any
little
extra damage
lads.
because I used my metal curmudgeon.
Mm-hmm. What about it? Sorry, what?
Do I get any extra damage because I?
No, you
made
do
the
not.
metal
The
curmudgeon?
spell, the spell functions exactly the same as it always would.
That's a fucking awful roll.
For flavor, you have a
Curmudgeon is such a good
badass
word.
fucking catapult ball, and you never have to worry about finding ammunition for it, which is the benefit. 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So as the creature turns and kind of locks eye contact with you, you produce your metal ball specially crafted for this and fire it off towards them, and it just rips a hole straight through the chest, and then sinks into this tree, or kind of the ground around this tree as it rolls and falls. Yeah, it keeps going in a straight line until it hits something, and it's a zombie, so I'm ruling it just goes right through the other side. And then just kind of rolls
No, that was
to the
Xechas's
ground.
reaction to that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Rolls into the mud and snow. The creature seems entirely unfazed by the softball-sized hole you just put in its chest.
What on earth?
Definitely took some damage. You see chunks missing.
Yeah.
Very specific chunk.
And I guess that's gonna be it for now.
Hell yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna move away from the water a bit more, I guess.
Next up, the zombie is gonna go. Oh no, it's the drowned. Okay, perfect. He is going to turn. Oh shit! Here's 5 more feet. There we go. Doesn't really have any range. So he's just gonna use his dash action to run straight up to you, Vitekorl. It just begins like running towards you at full speed until it gets into the water of the river, completely unfazed by how cold it is. Walks into about up the knees and just readies itself to attack you next turn. Next up, the zombie is going to try to bash down the door. Okay. You watch the zombie just leans back and like head double hammer fists into the door, which you see crack at the top just under where its fist hit, and a piece of wood begins falling out. It looks like they are starting to get through a little bit. Next up, we have this fucker.
Hold the door closed.
Who is going to move his 30 feet.
Oh, door.
30 feet. And then sprint right up to Xechas too, just running towards you at full speed. That's all it's got. Vitekorl, you're
Oh
up.
god, you smell horrible.
That's rude. Vitekorl, what are you doing?
Rude. Vitekorl is going to see that zombie kind of running up and very, very nervous. Fine. Getting out of the boat, not caring about how cold it is either. And he's just going to kind of saunter up towards the zombie and just, you and me, big fella. And he's going to slap his face once, and a bunch of hair comes off, slap him back again, and this time he comes back and his face looks a little more bear-like. Just gonna start cracking, bigger, till he's just a standing giant ground bear. And
I feel like we have a bear for you. We do a bear?
I would hope that there's a bear for me somewhere.
I don't think bear was on your list of pre-planned. So why don't you just grab the ape for now? We'll just use the ape.
Love it.
The ape mini
Wop.
is the bear. Love that.
Pop,
hi,
pop.
Bubby, little man.
There's
Very
definitely
fuzzy.
a bear out there for Ryan's.
Here's hoping.
Good one.
And boop, boop, boop. There we go. The right one? Yes, it is.
I forgot to bring
All
my
right,
barometer.
multi-attack. Barometer somewhere out there. Whoop.
You gotta stop with those puns. I
Okay.
can't bear it.
All right, guys. 10 points of damage. Okay.
10 points on the bite, and then as I still got my teeth in the thing, I'm just gonna come down. Boof, boof. Come on. Bop.
That will
We should put a
not
pause on
hit.
the puns.
Just hit him with the pads. I forgot I had claws in there. Just
yeah. The first hit does, or first strike does hit. However, you sink your teeth into the kind of collarbone, shoulder blade area, and feel the bones kind of snapping. The taste of salt water and rotten meat fills your mouth immediately. It is vastly unpleasantly tasty. Is that it for your turn? Okay. Next up is the zombie at the door going to slam. There's another 2 points to the door. Hits the door again. You start to hear the sound of wood cracking with each strike. It seems like they're getting through. You don't know how much HP a door has, but they're definitely doing some damage to it. That being said, Dusty, it is your turn. You see the two individuals engaged with your team, and then behind them, just the zombies pounding relentlessly on this door. You are muted, sir.
25 feet to here. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of notes those two, but then he's going to look towards the other two that are slowly breaking the door down, knowing that there's somebody inside.
At least one person, yeah.
So he's going to do the same thing, speak growth and draconic as he loads this shell. We'll just cast another Hail of Thorns and take my shot on the bud.
Okay, go ahead.
The one on the left.
Sure. Natural 20. I'm gonna be honest, you don't... I mean, yeah, roll your damage. I'm pretty sure you kill it. It's pretty squishy already. Yeah.
Max is...
Oh, that's a ridiculous...
17 plus the 5.
Your max is a d12, so 12 plus the 9 and 5.
Oh, plus my...
plus your extra...
Plus my proficiency, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be 12 plus 5. Yeah. So 17. No, the extra.
Yeah, no, we do. Yeah, that's fine either way. We don't add the proficiency until after. You just get the maximum dice damage. So it would be 12 plus the 14 you rolled with your proficiency and piercing critical. More than fucking enough.
Taking the 5. I was like, okay.
And the Hail of Thorns damage.
Yeah. So that guy is shuffled loose.
Peace.
You know, this mortal coil. You aim your rifle to fire. You pull the trigger. You feel the kick of your musket hitting into your shoulder blade. The shot rings out through the quiet winter air, and you watch as that entire zombie's upper torso is just eviscerated into a fine red mist at that point.
And then he explodes into thorn.
And this guy needs to make a dex save, yes. Hey! What's your save?
My DC is...
It's probably better
12.
than 12.
Is 12.
Ah! Zombie lives! Half damage or no?
I will check. Half as much on success.
Okay, so he takes 4 damage. Perfect. He's still out. My dude, let's go! As the one zombie explodes, bringing with it a torrent of vines and thorns spraying out in every direction. Somehow, by the sheer grace of God's will, this zombie just managed to turn and to throw itself awkwardly to the side, avoiding any damage. Or most of the damage.
18 damage from the Hail of Thorns?
Oh, do I have to roll that? Yeah, do I have to roll a second?
No, the crit was not. The crit was not on him. The crit was on the attack roll on the dude. Hail of Thorns is an AOE damage thing.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not having crit damage rolling on that. Because that is strictly an area of effect that he dodges. Yeah, no, I'm down with it going on the original target, the one who gets hit by it, but for dodges and shit, no. Anything else, Dusty?
Yeah, I'll just think he's not dead. I'll take 5 more feet towards him.
Okay, there you go.
God damn it.
Just barely still kicking.
I need to check something real quick.
Go for it.
I cannot order her to attack, but I can have her move.
Okay.
So I'm going to whistle for Violet.
Okay. You feel her move out of your backpack. Yep. Takes about 5 feet to get down onto the ground. Oh, bags in the boat. Perfect.
40 feet. 25, 30, 35 because of the 5 to get down. Got it.
Easily done.
And she's going to stand there.
Violet kind of just half slithers, half sprints out of the pack and jumps off the boat, making her way out into the middle of the field. Is that it for you?
Yep, that's all.
Okay. Next, we have this fellow in front of Vitekorl.
What about me?
What do you mean?
I'm a 14.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
You scared me, big boy.
There you go. What do you want to do?
So I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay.
Because I don't like being in melee range. And
Valid.
I'm just gonna walk away from this motherfucker.
Okay. He will make a wisdom save. No wisdom? It is wisdom.
Yes.
Nope. Yeah, no. He's not getting that. Cool. Does not take a swing at you. All good.
Sweet. Dusty, you've got the one at the door under control?
I'm working on it yet.
Alright, and I'm gonna shoot my lightning launcher at the one I just walked away from.
Okay, go ahead.
Nat one.
Oof.
Damn.
Oh wait, I have advantage.
Oof. You do, technically.
Oh,
How to use it.
fucking zombie might be alive still.
Why?
Disadvantage from Caleb.
You just use it on the next roll.
Got it.
We'll just save it for the next one.
Does
13
13 hit?
will hit it. Yes, it only has an AC of 10.
Okay, sweet.
Not wearing much armor.
Nice.
You gather this individual was at sea or in the water when they died and was not wearing armor when they did so. Looks like just an average citizen.
And I can make it take. I can have it take an extra D6 of lightning damage
So,
once
Fair
per
enough.
turn.
once per turn? That's pretty sick.
Yeah, so it's when I get multi attack, I can do that once per one of the attacks.
I like
Yeah,
that.
That's how that works.
That's
And I
pretty
just
neat.
rolled
I'm
max
gonna-
damage on all of the above, so it's 15 damage,
There you go.
lightning damage.
I'm gonna use my reaction as Dusty says strike and draconic and has Violet infuse that lightning.
Fair enough. Can she also infuse magic attacks, or does it have to be a physical attack?
So the way it's worded,
That's my one
Yeah.
question, because in theory, then you could do it on any single range spell attack.
yeah, find it real quick.
Yeah, no, do you
And the
think?
dragon.
This has not come up yet in our game.
This
so
is an
I'm
actions.
we'll
Infuse
break
strike.
one
When
first.
another creature within 30 feet of the drake hits with a weapon attack.
That
The
is
lightning
technically
launcher
a
a weapon?
Yeah, I would count that as a weapon. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Have another 6 force.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
That's a
This is
crazy
moves.
max roll attack.
Beautiful.
21 total damage.
So as you
Oh my
raise your wrist
God.
and fire your lightning launcher to this creature, the bolt of lightning arcs away from you, and as it goes through the air, it changes from this like light, bright, whitish blue color to this dark, brilliant purple amethyst color, and smacks into the creature, and you see it hit, the lightning spreads around its body, and it kind of gets half thrown back by the sheer momentum of the force. And you look over and you just see Violet looking over towards it, kind of posed, and you just see like the little bit of faint glow disappearing from her tail spines as she finishes her ability. Damn. Creature is still standing, but that was a fucking big hit. Well done.
Heck yeah.
Anything
That's
else
the
you want to do?
biggest hit you could possibly do with that. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
No, I'm gonna get further away though.
Okay, fair.
He's like nothing.
I have 25 more feet of movements.
Love that. Love that. Okay. Next
gonna
up
fuck
is
off.
going to be the Drowned, who is facing down Ryan. He gets 2 rusted sword attacks against you. 18 and a 21 to hit.
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Ouch.
You take a grand total of 16 slashing damage as this rusty, waterlogged sword just carves through your flesh. I also need you to roll me a DC 12 con save. Or contract blue
okay.
rot.
Boop boop. Come on.
Please roll low.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Okay, 1 second. I need to look into something.
You're collecting all the diseases.
Oh, it's like spring break in Cabo. I'm just collecting every disease I can.
We need
STDs, gotta catch them all.
Can you go ahead and roll me a D4, please, Ryan?
Gotcha. Boop. 3.
Pick 3 of your limbs.
You pick your 3 favoriteest limbs, you lose them.
Okay, 3. Perfect. Thank you. Good to know. I will put that in my back pocket for later, and we'll go from there. That is his turn. Next up is this guy, who is just, at this point, gonna head over to Dusty, because you're fucking right there. And he is gonna take his attacks against you. A 13 does not hit you, I believe, hits. And a 17 does. You take 9 points of slashing damage. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, I'm so good at
Have
these.
a little plague!
I'm so good at these.
Come on, you're gonna crush it. You're gonna crush it.
Oh, shit.
It's the odds both of you getting an incurable disease. Okay.
Rolls in that one.
There you go. You're all good. No stress.
I'm really all over the fucking board today. I'm really just... Oh, no.
Disadvantage. Yeah, we said on the next roll.
Never mind. I'm just fucking better. I'm just fucking better.
Oh, damn.
Way.
So as the sword carves across your body, kind of digging into flesh, the kind of jagged, rusty iron scraping and tearing on its way through, you do not feel any different afterward. It's just a really unpleasant gash. That'd be it for him. Vitekorl, you're up. You feel a little weird, but fine at the moment.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Vitekorl is just fighting in the deep cold water. The bear's hair was already very sparse and very thin, and even just in the few seconds, you see like the rushing water is kind of carrying away a lot of the hair, exposing a lot of gray skin. And in the areas that I was getting slashed, that's also happening. The hair's just falling out. So I just got a lot of gray, black-gray color skin exposed as I slap down with another couple of slappies. Come on, please. 2 attacks.
25 will hit.
Okay, 12 slashing damage on that one. And then once I connect with the claw, I just go down to bite him in the shoulder without... I just snap at the air.
Slash out, your claws kind of tearing across this creature's chest, tearing open the sailor's uniform and revealing the kind of rotten blue flesh beneath the clothing. It's not dead, but it kind of like lurches back as the weight of your strike hits it, and then it kind of makes its way back towards you as you try to bite down on it. Unfortunately, your weight kind of shifts, and you try to catch yourself by putting one foot on the boat, which causes the boat to lurch, and your attack misses entirely, and instead you get a face full of frigid ice cold water, and you are off balance, which means the next attack against you, melee attack, has advantage. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Nope, that's gonna be me.
It's gonna be me. Okay. That zombie's just gonna keep smashing the door. He's still up for now. He has a job to do. Mesh. You all watch as the zombie leans back, smacks its arm on the door. You hear a sickening crack, and at the elbow, the arm just kind of starts hanging limp, like it's held on by nothing more than just a little bit of meat and sinew. Still capable of knocking down the door, but that was its turn. Next up, Dusty.
It's now a flail instead of an arm.
It's now flailing its
Now
arm.
that I have been cut, I look back towards the zombie at the door, and I just go, in Draconic, get him! Using my bonus action, I'm going to command her to run up 40 feet
Got it?
Here. And bite.
Go for it. Bite.
Oh, okay. Unrecognized command. I'll just go fuck myself. You're right. You're right.
God, get your commands right, JT.
15 to hit.
Now 15 will hit. They have an AC of like 8. It's very low AC. And he's beat to shit already.
3.
Okay. That is enough. Go ahead and describe how Violet kills the zombie. Let's give Violet a little.
I think she just kind of runs up and like right on the back of its leg, but like a little too hard, so it chomps through and it just falls over, and then she just hits right in the neck.
Love it. Okay. Just
And
basically
as
takes
I'm
a chunk,
looking back,
then pounces on it when it falls to the ground.
as I'm looking back, I'm just like, hey, spit that out. Don't eat that. Stop it. It's rotten. And then as I look back to the guy directly in front of me, I just point my musket at his fucking
Just
chin, I guess.
point blank range. Go for it. No disadvantage because you're a gunner.
The gunner.
Got the gunner. I always enjoy it, so always.
14.
14 will hit. Yes, it'll absolutely hit. And this
Okay,
one's already
okay.
taken some
Not
damage
bad.
between the catapult through its chest and the
I'm gonna
lightning
use
party.
my reaction on this as well.
How much damage do you roll? Okay. 10, more than enough.
6. For
Okay.
2 force.
You turn after finishing your command, point the musket, basically almost resting it on the guy's chest at this point, pointing right up under his chin. Pull the fucking trigger, and point blank range, you watch as the entire head just explodes out the back, and kind of sprays towards Vitekorl and the other zombie over here, kind of spattering the ground around you with little bits of semi-rotten aquatic brain matter. And the creature just thumps to the ground, its weapons falling uselessly as it does so. Just the one left. Well done.
Like,
Dusty, anything else? Any movement?
No, that's it.
Okay. Xechas.
alrighty, so I just see the one left that Vitekorl is fighting. I'm gonna rip up here to have a better angle on it.
Okay.
And not potentially electrocute my teammate.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. That one on ranged
Yeah,
attacks
yeah.
do things
Thank you.
sometimes. Shit happens, right?
Yep, they do. And I'm going to bzz it. Real
Give him
good,
the
like-
business.
The business.
The business. Yeah.
12.
12 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage. This one hasn't taken as much damage yet. It's just been the couple attacks from Vitekorl at this point, but ooh, okay.
Plus 4, so 12 total. Bzz damage.
Okay. Vitekorl, as you kind of pull your head out of the river after missing your attack, still getting your bearings, look up at this creature. You watch as the
Bearings.
lightning just erupts through it just briefly. You smell you smell burning, kind of cooking, rotten flesh with a little bit of a salty tinge to it, and you did say you are in the water, so I'm gonna need a dex save from you, please.
Yep.
As you
this
know,
is actually-
shooting lightning into a river that people are standing.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Zombies are poor conductors.
Yeah, but fucking water isn't, and these are wet zombies.
I'm a water bear.
These are very specifically water zombies.
He's waterlogged.
What's your
Zombies are poor conductors.
Waterlogged.
Legitimately.
spell save?
Mine?
That 13.
13. Okay, so you make it. You do not take any lightning damage from it. You're kind of like half on the boat, half in the water, and basically you see the lightning coming, and you're smart enough to just pull your one leg out and get it into the boat before the lightning hits you as well. It felt like the fairest way to handle that. All right, that's it for you. The creatures, or the zombie, is very much still alive, or I guess the drowned, but starting to look pretty rough. That being said, he does get another turn. He's just gonna keep going for Vitekorl.
Oh.
He's already infected, so it's all damage at this point
Yeah.
in bear form. But
Yeah,
goddamn.
yeah. His a D8 is his max, so 8 plus 5, fucking 13. You take 13 points of slashing damage from the first strike as the rusty sword carves through your bear hide yet again. And the second strike also hits for 7 points of slashing damage, so taking a pretty big chunk there. How you looking? Still bear form, I take it?
Nope.
Oh, no.
With that second slap, the rest of the hair immediately falls away, as well as just the skin starts to melt away, and Vitekorl kind of
Okay.
starts spitting out water and blood and viscera.
Okay. This creature just in front of you, kind of half gargling through its just watery lungs. You're not sure if it's even trying to say anything, but it sounds pretty unpleasant. And it just unleashes a set of attacks against you. You don't need to save because you already failed it. And you all notice at this point that Vitekorl has a bit more of a kind of bluish tinge to his skin than he did before. It's always been kind of off blue-gray, but there's just like a little bit more of a blue color, almost like what you're seeing on these two drowned. That being said, that his turn. I don't need to roll with advantage because he got a nat 20, so I'm just gonna take that. And Vitekorl, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
I'm blue, Baba Dee Babu Die.
You can leave. You can go now.
Bye. Shit. Oh, okay. Actually, this works out great. Vitekorl, slopping out of all of the bear form. His bear form is very gross. All his forms are kind of gross when they fall off him, and he's just gonna slop out of it. Still kind of like he's almost knee deep in the water now. When he got knocked over, he's just kind of in the ocean. He pulls himself out, turning blue, but he's just going to. I will not be bested in nature. This is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm going to reach a hand into the water and just splash up. And it's instantly going to do that like icy smoky effect that whenever you're outside with a hot water and just like, psh.
Okay.
And then from that, I'm going to just start getting covered in icicles. Very sharp icicles as I cast bark skin on myself. And
I'm here
using
for
the
ice skin.
yeah, naturey ice, barks,
I'm down with
ice bark.
Ice bark.
And it's just like it's gonna layer and layer and layer and layer, and then from that ice, it's just gonna start a bunch of patches of gray skin is gonna and blue and patch as I start to buff back up, and I turn into that same bear but hairless, a hairless
and covered
bright
in
blue
shards of ice. Badass.
ice. So essentially, what I look like is an abominable snowman.
Literally, basically. Hell yeah, bro.
As
Hell
I cast
yeah,
Yeti on myself.
Love that.
Action is bark skin, and then bonus action transform. So I got nothing, but I just.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Dusty, you're up.
I'm a whistle and point. Violet's gonna make her way over. She ain't gonna be able to make it.
Okay.
And I'll just start making my way over.
Make him out.
Line up a shot right here. And just for the hell of it, he's gonna pull out the pistol. He's gonna let the musket fall as it hangs around on the leather strap, and he's gonna pull out the flintlock and go for a shot on it.
Go for it.
I'm not used to it. I ain't used to it yet.
We're still learning. You pull it out, aim it, fire. That's a 2. You rolled a 2.
Misfire's on 1, and then
It's
2
only-
and 3 in snow, right?
Yep, and we are not snowing, so you know how close that shit was. You almost misfired your first time.
But I was like, it's a 2.
You're good,
And
you're
it
good.
was clear. So I was like, I'm open.
You pull it out, aim it, fire, and as you pull the trigger, the flintlock clicks down, and you see the spark, and you're like, that should have fired. And in that split second, you kind of lower your guard a little and just kind of like move the pistol enough that the shot, when it goes off finally, that spark finally making it into the charge, the shot just it splashes into the water a few feet behind.
Oh shit! I'm still figuring this thing out. It's a little different than the rifle.
All right, that'd be it for you.
For now, then.
Yeah, that's everything.
Xechas, you're up.
Oh goodness. Lightning was not the best idea. I'm gonna firebolt.
You do see that Vitekorl is out of the water at this point.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm gonna lightning off. I'm gonna it.
Sounds good.
No.
Where are you? Okay. Roll me a d4. If it's odds, you're hitting Ryan. If it's evens, you're shooting at JT. JT, congratulations. Go ahead and roll an attack. No. Go ahead and roll an attack roll against JT's AC. Or against Dusty's AC, please. Okay, still a miss, luckily. Dusty watches Xechas raises his lightning launcher yet again to try to fire at this creature. And there's just a brief moment of distraction as you raise your pistol, fire, and the shot doesn't go off. And then that delayed kind of jump causes him to shoot just ever so slightly. And you watch as this like beam of lightning just arcs right past your face and into the distance beyond. And you look.
I want you to know I was going to fully commit to having Violet help on that strike. So even if you had hit me, I would have said strike anyways and gotten fucking ass blasted by it.
I do like our homebrew rules for
wet sponge.
Oh god. I do like our homebrew rules for nat ones on attacks. They work. They don't come up often. Like, we had one nat 1 on a ranged attack in our entire campaign last time. It was insane.
Fucking thrown javelin.
Right at the end in the boss fight, there was one fucking Mantuka got fucking javelin and shit. Either way, that was
right.
Great. Xechas, anything else you'd like to do? I heard you talk, but you did not come through.
Mike was muted, sorry. No, good God, no. That's enough for me for now.
Okay.
For a while.
This creature is gonna go
back off 10 feet.
Fair. And as Dusty, you walked up. No, he's just gonna focus on Vitekorl because you're a giant fucking bear in his face. That's a 9 to hit and a 10 to hit. Both miss. Just unleashes a series. And at this point, you've kind of figured out that while he may have been good with a sword before he died, he basically just flails it left to right at this point, and you're able to mostly avoid it. And that will be his turn. What would you want to do? Vitekorl, you're up next.
My turn. The giant, it's like a bear standing on both legs. Has horns growing out of its head, out of its teeth. It looks like an amalgamation of rage and nature. And I'm just going to bring my whole head down for a headbutt. Whoop.
I love it.
And where's my guy? Abominable Snow Carl.
I love Abominable Snow Carl. He's my favorite.
That is a 16 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
That's 10 piercing damage as the horns in my mouth just... And... whoop. Then again with the claws.
Give him the claws.
Yeah, probably not.
8. An 8, unfortunately, will not hit. But you don't need to, because 10 is more than enough to finish it up. Go ahead and describe what it looks like as the Abominable Snow Carl finishes off this last round. What would you like to do?
With the headbutt, it comes down, and I just gore him on the horns coming out of my mouth, and I pick him up, and he's just hanging there right there as Abominable Snow Carl just starts to har, 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 and just blenders him in the air, and he's just ripping at him with his teeth. He's just pulling him apart, throwing him, and it just won't stop until every last bit of him is off his mouth, and then he's just...
You look at Abominable Snow Carl, now just covered head to toe with viscera, the pieces of this drowned just laying scattered all around. Some are already beginning to drift downriver on the current. And you all stand victorious, having overcome your enemies. You notice the sound of a door creaking behind you as the fight comes to a close. So, and you kind of all look, and you see, looks to be a younger woman, probably late 20s, maybe early 30s, kind of looking out towards you all, and behind her you see 3 other individuals, all around the same age, look either lumber workers or dock workers or something. They're all dressed very similarly, nothing too descript about them. The woman, though, has a look of surprise and apprehension on her face a little. She kind of looks out. Is it safe?
Well, it seems so for now. We've taken care of all those.
It's fine. It's okay. She opens the door and everyone kind of steps out of the building a little bit. I suppose a thank you is in order. Thank you.
While those two are talking, Dusty goes to grab the bag out of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then all you'll hear him say as they're talking is, "Violet, bag."
She very quickly makes her way over to you and zips her way into the bag, kind of curling into her familiar ball in the bottom corner of it.
Oh, I mean, it was the least we could do. Those things were trying to break in there and kill you.
Yes, it's not the first time. It's been it's been happening with increasing frequency of late.
That's not good.
Well,
No.
if that's the trajectory, if that's the trajectory that your days seem to be going in, it might be time to find a new home.
Oh, we don't live here. This is just the kind of halfway house, the lodging house. We just stopped to spend the night here between traveling the river and traveling to the lake. What are you doing here? We don't get strangers in these parts all that often. Thankful we did this time, but
we're just out here looking for a lumber mill we were gonna visit.
You mean the Laravos Lumber Company?
Yeah, that's where we were headed.
Yeah, well, that's who we work for. We were supposed to be picking up a shipment of supplies for the town, and, well, I say town, less of a town, more of a settlement, but, yeah, the canoe, they rode in, brought their supplies up. We were just kind of holding down the fort until they came back, help them load the boats and unload as they need, but I don't know, they came out, walked right out of the water this morning, and we managed to keep them outside, but they tried like hell to get in and lost one of my boys in the water there. It's
So, are you telling me that those were your compatriots before, and they turned into those things?
Them, no, they're look at their clothes. They're sailors. Apparently, ones that have been down there for a while, by the look of them. No, we were just here helping them unload, and then holding down the fort until they came back, and helping them load up whatever they needed carrying away. They just, surprised us, came right out of the water. Dragged poor Ricky right down, just right underwater, never came back up.
Well, I'm sorry we couldn't be here sooner.
Yeah, you got here at all, and you saved our asses, so I'll take that. There's some supplies, food inside, fireplace. We could heat up a little if you're cold from your travels. I know it's not exactly a pleasant trip on the river. And then if you're heading to the lumber mill, it's just She kind of points, and you see this kind of like worn gravel path that leads out into the forest. She's kind of gesturing towards that. It's just a couple hours up that way, not that far.
Well, taking a little stop would be with some good. I don't normally see you get cold, Vitekorl, but you're kind of blue. You doing all right? You need more fur? Maybe covering yourself in ice didn't help with your chilliness.
The whole time that as soon as they came out the building, Vitekorl just kind of like went down and arched his back like a pissed off cat. He's just been standing there. And as soon as you start talking to him, he just kind of... And he's just going to take off going north.
Okay. Just gonna dip.
Oh, fuck.
I thought that was your pet.
No,
is he okay?
that's our friend.
Okay, well, why don't you go find them, and we'll get a fire going, and you guys can rest up a bit before you head. Is he okay?
Not too sure, to be honest.
Okay, well...
He's got a lot on his plate.
I'm gonna be honest, I've seen enough weird shit today, and that was, like, right at the top of the list. So, we're gonna head inside, get a fire going, maybe warm up some stew. Feel free to come back and get warm. Otherwise, yeah, the lumber mill's about 3 hours that way, maybe 2. Good luck.
All right, well, hopefully we'll be back. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you.
Okay. She makes her way inside along with the others. They close the door again. You do hear a lock go down or engage on the other side. Vitekorl, where are you going?
Not too far. I would have gone probably about 300-400 feet.
Okay.
Booking her. And then as soon as I got about that far, I think I would start to, the form would start to fall apart, start to come undone at the seams. And I just start to kind of fall, and then trip over, and I'm just going to hide behind a tree, just kind of... What's that? What was 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 that? Okay, composure. I'm coming! I'm just gonna start walking backwards.
You feel your
Up.
fingers start to tingle ever so slightly, and you feel a little feverish. I'm not sure why.
Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. Lost control, composure there. Cold water, all that. It was a weird chemical reaction, I'm sure. I'm coming back. I will be right there.
Can I insight check him?
Sure. Go ahead.
Mm. 13. 14.
Are you trying to hide anything from them? That's up to you.
I'm gonna do this. Oh.
What's your Decepticon modifier?
You get... You remember specifically me shouting before I transformed into the Yeti. You're not gonna get me in nature, that's what I do.
Yeah. Vitekorl, are you sure you're all right? You look quite ill, and there was quite a moment that you had earlier.
Right, oh, heat of battle.
Come on, it's all right. It's all right. We're here to help you. Let's get back to that cabin. They've offered us shelter and food and heat.
Oh, good. I'll have to explain away the fact that I was whatever that was. That'll be fun. I don't think I can turn into anything else today. Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just
good.
Just be yourself for now.
Okay, good. I'll just explain that I'm an animal sometimes. Yes, absolutely. I don't feel good in the spirit of staying honest and being open about most things. I'm gonna open up my shirt, and it's just... Is there like a good weird kind of... Is there anything weird on my chest where I got slashed there? Just...
I mean, medicine check.
Oh, God.
Can I also do that?
Sure.
5.
Yeah, 21.
Oh.
You're not sure. Vitekorl, you have no idea what the fuck's going on. The wound is burning a little. You're sweating. You're cold. You're clammy. You're feverish. Xechas, you look at the wound and see that it is either infected or diseased already. You're not sure. Yeah. You have no idea as to what it could be. Never seen anything like this in your life. This is completely
But it's definitely festering and requires some serious medical attention rapidly.
Yeah. This is borderline worse than what you saw with the rabies.
Oh, good. And we're in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere.
And you can...
You hear that, Kieran? You're getting a guest spot.
Yeah, you can smell already the kind of stink of festering coming from the wound. Very similar to how those corpses smelled when you destroyed them. The ones that were covered in barnacles and seaweed.
These aren't supposed to stay... When I turn into... This isn't good.
Well, shit. He's gonna say as he lifts up the side of his coat and has a slash.
You're good. Looks normal. Just a deep cut.
Did he use a different blade on you? I'm very confused.
I'll be honest, a lot of that fight was kind of a blur. I lost myself for a moment, but at one point I do remember eating him. That might have something to do with it. I need to lay down. Let's go inside, maybe. Don't tell them about this. Yeah?
Yes, no, that's all right. I mean, they may have a way of helping. But if that's what you'd like, then we won't say anything.
Well, let's ask KG first. We'll kind of skirt around it. I'm just afraid I'm gonna get exiled. I've seen it happen to people.
Let's just get there and get resting. That place looks like there's plenty of room to rest for all of us.
All right.
So I have an idea of how I could potentially help.
Good. All right. Yes. Yeah. Let's go in there and forget about everything that happened in the river. Woohoo!
Mm-hmm. Okay. You make your way.
Just for now.
Dusty looks into the bag. See, it was a good goddamn thing. I told you to spit that out.
You just hear from inside. You guys make your way back to the cabin, not very far. You knock on the door as you did hear it lock, and you hear footprints on the other side. Someone shuffle a lock across. It seems to be just a sliding bar by the sound of it. And that same woman you saw before opens the door, just gestures for you to come in. Hey, we have a fire go. You look awful.
Hi. I was the thing that ran away.
I figured. Color matched. Do you need to lay down?
Also, that's an awful way to introduce yourself to someone.
It literally looks like he just got frozen out of a giant cube of ice. He's blue.
Right?
Are you normally blue?
More of an off gray.
Okay.
Kind of a bluish
so
gray.
you look, you look rough. You look rough. Come in. It's warm. She gestures, and you make your way in. You see a large table kind of set up in the middle of the room, a large brick fireplace built against the wall. On the other side of the house, I can show you. Oop. It's cute. There you go. So that's what you see. There's already two individuals of the other group that were with her lying down on these cots on the side. They are bunk beds that are just hanging by chains from the ceiling and look relatively sturdy and supported. There's just one stacked on top of each of them, so there's 8 beds total. 2 are currently in use. Someone else is kind of stoking the fire, and the woman is puttering around behind this table, which looks like a small... Not quite like a general goods store, but like a little supply trading post just for people to top up before making their way either downriver or up the 3-hour walk through the forest, just kind of general like tack and supplies and rations and the like. There are several beds free and the fire is roaring hot. There is a pot hanging over it from a rack that just kind of hangs above the fireplace and smells like there is a fairly hearty stew being made. What do you want to do?
Is anybody using this bed over here? And I just go into the corner and just kind of flop down.
That's all yours. We'll, you get some rest. We'll let you know when the stew's ready. Make yourself comfortable. I know we don't have a lot here, but there's beds, there's chairs, and there's a warm fire, so. I think there's some furs in the back corner there if you need anything to keep warm.
Thank you for your hospitality. It's very generous.
That's what we're here for. That's the whole reason the house exists. We leave it unlocked when no one's here, just in case there's any travelers coming up and need to make a pit stop.
Well, it's appreciated nonetheless. With the Cretans that were trying to beat down the door, have you ever noticed any kind of oddities in somebody that's been struck by them?
I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time anyone survived. So I don't know.
Oh.
Last time they showed up, there was just 2 people down here and they disappeared and we haven't seen or heard from them since. That was at least 2-3 weeks ago. Before that was just one person was fishing on the dock and vanished. Now I'm seeing those things come out of the water and putting 2 and 2 together, it would suggest that that was what caused them to disappear. But I don't know. Weird things happen in these woods all the time.
Do you happen to know any drunkards that are really in tune with God?
Most of them, I think.
Okay, do they channel anything of their God?
I mean, if you're asking for a holy man, you're not going to find one at Laravos Lake Lumber Mill, I can tell you that much.
I knew that fucking drunk was useless. Where is he?
I mean, it sounds like you know a wandering drunk who's particularly fond of God. I can't say I've been introduced.
Strangely, we do. It was quite an odd interaction.
I know, it was very specific. I was just hoping he had been around.
No one like that. A few drunks. Few people on other stuff too, but that's not important. Stew's on, let it, boil for a couple hours and should be all good. We actually have to make our way back. They're expecting us back tonight and we don't want them to have to send out a search party. So you guys make yourself comfortable as long as you need and just follow the path when you're ready to head to the lumber mill.
Sounds good. And if they ask who you met, just tell them that it's potential friends.
The potential friends got a name?
Yes. Sorry, we're terrible with introductions. I'm Xechas.
Dusty. Although...
And the blue fellow in the corner?
That's Vitekorl.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Dusty, Xechas, and Vitekorl. I got it. My name's Annie. I work at the lumber mill. If you happen to be around, feel free to swing in and say hello.
Yes, well, we'll be making our way up hopefully tomorrow, unless one that needs to be taken away, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, good luck.
I'm gonna lean into Xechas. Do you think we should warn them about the potential military?
Oh, right. Oh, yes. If you look at the lumber mill, this is actually potentially something you should know. I don't know if it's an issue or not, but we did hear a large marching force of men last night, moving kind of in the general direction of the mill.
That would be news to me, but I'll report it to the people in church.
Yes, and be careful on your way there.
I'm sure we'll be fine. It's a pretty easy path. Good luck, and she looks to Vitekorl. Feel better. Take care of yourself.
Hey, Annie, you'll be okay. You'll be okay, Annie. Thank you.
I hate you so much. She goes, gathers her stuff. Her two friends hop off the bed. The third one by the fire kind of hangs the poker up on one of the bricks with a hook on it. Good luck. And they all make their way out of the house. You kind of make yourself comfortable for the next hour or two, and the stew begins to smell quite delectable. What's up?
Yeah, so pretty much immediately I want to try and do something about this.
Mm-hmm.
Dusty, are you at all good at identifying herbs and potential natural remedies?
Well, somewhat. Kind of dependent, mostly for like small infections, things like that. Like what I had, you know.
Yes, because if we could find something that I'm sure we can't find any cure, but if we could find something that could, stave off the worst of this, then that could potentially get us through this job, or at least be able to get him back safely.
I can look around.
All right. Well, I can. It'll take me about an hour, but I can make a kit to process those herbs.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. I'm gonna get at that right away then. And I'm going to, for the first time, use the right tool for the job. I'm going to take out my tinkerer's tools, and out of the ether, I'm going to weave a non-magical set of herbalism, an herbalism kit.
Okay.
Oh!
Easily done. What are you doing with said herbalism kit?
Well, I'm gonna. Once I'm done that, I'm gonna go out with Dusty, and hopefully we can find something that'll help stave off, like a fever reducer or something like that. That'll help.
Okay.
Reduce any of the symptoms he's having.
All right. You guys both make your way out, leaving Vitekorl in the bed. I will say, roll me a nature check, please.
All right.
Dusty, you're at advantage
both
because
rolling
favored terrain.
Gonna use multiple pass there.
Mm-hmm.
13.
Oh.
Okay. Unfortunately, with winter being here, there's already a thick cover of snow on the ground. You look as best you can, and you know a couple like remedies, like boiling bark in water and having them drink it as kind of a tea type deal to kind of help stave off certain things like fever. Beyond that, you're not able to find a whole lot out here in the snow between the two of you. I will say, what's up, Dusty?
I think one of the first things Dusty would do, just recalling back to when he was trying to like have Vitekorl grab his like herbs and shit, he would look like specifically at the like food section in the house as well for like just fucking basil, sage, oregano, that kind of shit. I don't know if they keep any of that around either.
Nah, it doesn't look like there's anything just looking around apart from some pieces of bark that you could probably boil and make a little bit of a tea out of. You're pretty slim pickings. Unfortunately, it is the dead of winter right now. It's kind of hard to go herb picking.
That's better than nothing.
I'm not much of a tea cooker, if you will, so I'll leave this up to you.
This won't be difficult. And I'll take my dagger out and I'll shave off some bark.
Okay. Specifically white willow bark. Is more or less what you're looking for, which you are able to find. It's pretty scarce, but you managed to gather enough that you could probably make a decent pot of tea with it. And you both return to the house about 2.5 hours later of searching and find everything you need. And as you open the door, Vitekorl, you roll over to greet your friends, and you are all greeted by the grisly and unpleasant sight of Vitekorl's now entirely blue body covered in these pus-filled boils of this kind of nasty bluish color. And as he rolls over to say hello, you see them kind of sprouting up on his face all over. Roll me a d4, please, Ryan.
No.
Also, the first D4 you rolled a 3 on, that took 3 hours for your boils to manifest. A 2!
Gotcha.
Your charisma and constitution scores both go down by 2.
Oh, boy.
Indefinitely.
Okay.
I will let you make that adjustment yourself. And as you look over and you see one of the boils pop and just leak down his cheek, Vitekorl, seemingly having not looked at himself, not quite aware of what is going on.
I'm gonna take my steel mirror out of my bag of holding and just kind of, Vitekorl, you might want to brace yourself. I'm gonna...
For what? Dear friend.
You feel feverish, your hands are numb and tingly, you're sweating already through your furs, and as Xechas holds this mirror towards you, you see your normally handsome visage covered in these pulsating, pus-filled boils on your cheeks and face, and just as what kind of... That is where we will end the session for this evening. That'll be it, guys. What a perfect moment to end on as Vitekorl screams into the abyss, realizing his face is now covered with boils. You have contracted blue rot. So after every long rest, you have to make a save. If you succeed, your con and charisma go back up. If they reach their original number, you're cured. However, on a fail, you take 4d8 necrotic damage and the boils burst and spread. If you get reduced to 0 by it, you are... No! You cannot regain hit points, though you can be stabilized as normal. You get a coma. So, I'll allow you guys to deal with that shit when it comes up. In the meantime, y'all, we gotta find someone to raid out on. This is the second disease.
We should raid
that
the
Ryan
fucking hospital. Good God.
Yeah, we're gonna raid Aves.
Is the Betty Ford clinic streaming?
Oh no.
Mayo Clinic Twitch.
Enjoy. This is the second time.
No.
All right, well, we got everyone here. Ryan, seeing as we just gave you the plague, why don't you tell the people what you got going on coming up this week at the Purple House?
Got lots more of the randomness happening. Look out for the next weekend. You'll see a 400th stream anniversary special bonanza extravaganza, something like that. Look out for me, baby.
Extravaganza, I love that. JT, what about you? Anything you want to share with the people?
Gonna be an interesting little bit of time coming up for me. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully, eventually, I will be moved somewhere and maybe can start streaming again.
Woo, I'd love that.
If I'm not in the middle of fucking
streams.
nowhere.
I feel that. I absolutely feel that. And last but not least, Chris, any words you want to share with the good people of the internet? Now is your chance.
Pet your neighborhood stray animals and go vote on April 28th if you are Canadian.
There you go. Go vote. Go fucking vote.
Preach.
It's never been more important in all of history.
Who you vote for?
Just vote. Just fucking vote.
Go.
All right, y'all. We're going to call it a day. We will be back next week to see where this disease takes us. And in the meantime, y'all be good to each other. Love each other. I have been Rusty. These have been my friends.
Bye.
And you all have been awesome. We'll see you next time. Bye.